Hey y'all, and welcome to Off the Rails Politics. My name is Brian, and this exchange at the White House press secretary meeting just shows why everything's just going off the rails.
And can you...
John, I just want to clarify two of your previous answers in this briefing. Are you suggesting, in response to the border question, that the president is withholding executive action on the border until he gets the money that is part of this supplemental?
No, I'm not suggesting that. I'm suggesting that the way forward, the proper way forward, is to get this supplemental passed.
Okay. And then, in response to MJ's question earlier, it sounded like the administration has ruled out strikes within Iran.
Jacqui, I appreciate the question. I think you can understand. I hope you can understand. I'm not going to telegraph punches here. We are not looking for a war with Iran. We are not looking to escalate the tensions any more than they already have been escalating. In fact, everything we've done has been designed to try to de-escalate those tensions. That said, this was a very serious attack. It had lethal consequences. We will respond, and we'll respond appropriately. I'm not going to telegraph what that's going to look like.
The question, though, was if you were actively considering targets inside Iran, and your answer was, we don't see conflict with Iran, which indicates that the administration would view strikes within Iran as escalatory. And so is it that the administration ultimately does not hold Iran responsible for these attacks, or that the current level of risk and loss to U.S. troops is somehow acceptable?
I do appreciate the question and the chance to say it again. I am not going to telegraph punches for the President of the United States. I'm not going to get ahead of his decision space and how he's going to respond. We'll respond appropriately. And you're right. This attack had lethal consequences, which these attacks in the past have not had. And as I said in my opening statement, as we work through what those options are, we'll be mindful and informed by the fact that there are now 3 American soldiers that have been killed.
So it's clear, obviously, that didn't work. Does the president have any regret over not punching back harder in any of the prior responses that he's taken to these proxy attacks on U.S. forces?
I think I would push back on the idea that we didn't push back harder. That we have taken significant action against Iran economically. We have certainly taken some additional and more aggressive steps to go after these groups. We're certainly taking aggressive action against the Houthis to try to defend shipping in the Red Sea. I mean, this idea that somehow we've just whistled past the graveyard here and walked away from the challenge that Iran poses just isn't borne out by the facts. These proxy groups have been attacking our troops and our facilities in Iraq and Syria well before this administration as well. And
for instance, Mike Waltz said this morning that when you're trying to play defense constantly rather than punching back in a meaningful way, this blood is on this administration's hands.
All right, let's do a little history lesson, shall we? Let's compare 3 administrations. The last 3: the Biden, the Trump, and the Obama administration. What did the Obama administration do with Iran? They gave them money. They gave them money, made a terrible nuclear deal, and essentially gave them the ability to attack America and our allies. What did Joe Biden do to Iran? Well, almost the exact same thing. Give them money, and then do not retaliate properly when they attack our ships. The attacks in the Strait of Hormuz are terrible attacks and borderline an act of war. Now, what about the Trump administration? All of a sudden, it's a little more quiet. There's less problems going on. And finally, when they start some crap under his administration to sort of test his resolve, you know what he does? He goes out there and gives the order to kill one of their top generals. That's the difference, folks. That's the difference. Donald Trump gets things done on foreign policy, and that's not even, that might be his greatest strength, but it's not what he wants to focus on. So we have 2 essentially pussies in charge, in Obama and Biden, trying to say, please don't do stupid things, here's some money, just go away. And what do? They use that money to attack America and its allies. They attack our ships. They've tried to attack Israel. Arguably, the Hamas war has started because Iran has funneled money into the Hamas organization. What does Donald Trump do? He targets their top generals and says, do not mess with us. This is the line. Do not cross it. There's a reason we had peace for 4 years under Trump. And we've had nothing but perpetual war and destruction under W, Obama, and Biden. This is asinine, and this is why politics is off the rails. But I do want to end on one positive note. This is why KJP, Karine Jean-Pierre, sucks at her job. I love watching this Rear Admiral talk because at least in his abilities, he is articulate, intelligent, and he doesn't talk down to all the reporters. That was a nice, positive exchange, and I really wish people would see her for what she really is. I like this guy. I don't like who he's working for, but I at least respect him. That's just the reality. Reminder, folks, politics is off the rails, and that's why I hope you like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one, and until then, y'all have a good one.